Greetings, Local 2627 sisters and brothers. Today is Monday, July 29th, and I hope everybody had a great weekend. I want to give you three different updates, and then I want to tell you what we need to do to make sure that John Lew is elected. The first thing is, our scholarship, our child scholarship, the third Tuesday in August, I think it's the 20th. You have until midnight of the 20th to make sure your documentation is in. But I also want to mention to you, please do not send in duplicate applications. We have cases where the mother sent an application and the father sent an application for the same child. It doesn't work that way. Only one application per child. One application. We're going to discard one of them, so don't even bother doing that. I mean, you're wasting our time and resources doing something like that. Only one application per child. Okay, good luck, by the way, for anybody who is applying for the scholarship. PSU, Help Your Own Fund. If you want us to give matching funds that you get from the Help Your Own Fund, you're going to have to give us the appropriate documentation. The appropriate documentation is going to have to be proof that you received the check. The proof should be a copy of the check or a copy of the check stub. We need this for our financial reports, and we can't give it to you we can't give you anything without that. This has to be in a record. We have to show why we wrote you a check. So please make sure that if you ever get anything from the PSU and the Help Your Own Fund, that you make sure that you make a copy of that check or give us a copy of the pay stub. The Telecom data, the Telecom data list is out. You should have received the notification from DCAS what your test score was and where you are on the list. If you haven't, then you need to contact DCAS and find out what the story is. Like I said, the list is now out. It's public, so check into it and find out where you stand on the list. The last thing, which I think is very important, is a lot of people are we're being bamboozled. When you hear about John Lew, you don't hear about him in the polls at all, or he's at a very, very low percentage. But let me tell you something. These uniforms that supported other people, or people like CUNY who have supported other people for mayor, remember, most of these people don't even live in New York City, so they can't even vote for the mayor of New York City anyway. They live in the outer boroughs. The outer counties, excuse me. They live in the outer counties. They cannot vote in New York City for the mayor, so keep that in mind. Also, keep in mind that there's a whole group of people who are not being polled. A whole group. There's probably 15 to 18% of people who are absolutely going to vote for John Lew. And people that live in Flushing and live in Chinatown and places like that. But they're not mentioning any of that. Now, you have somebody like Weiner who's running for mayor, and they keep on putting him up there. Let me tell you something. The only place Weiner should be is on Jerry Springer or Murray Povich. That's the only place Weiner should be. And Quinn is the same as Bloomberg. And like I said before, Thompson was there when all this started. He was with Bloomberg all the time as the controller. He didn't stand up to him. He didn't make any comments about what was going on. The only one who had the courage to stand up and fight Bloomberg is John Lew. Now, you can say that he's under investigation. Yeah, John Lew's been under investigation for 4 years, and they have found nothing wrong with him. Now, why did they choose John Lew out of all the other candidates to look at his campaign contributions? Because somebody's trying to set him up. Because he is hurting people. He is hurting because he's stopping them from making the money off of our work and off our tax dollars. Now, let me remind you, they're privatizing all of our jobs. Privatizing all of our jobs. They're bringing the consultants to do our work. They're talking about no retroactivity. Now, the way it stands right now, most of us don't have a contract, and it's been at least 3 years. By the time we do get a contract, it's going to be 5 years. And we're not going to get any retroactivity. According to the mayoral candidates, the only one who's saying that they will give us some type of money, retroactivity, is John Lew. John Lew's the controller. He says he knows where the money is. Where the money is, I believe him, because he's in there where the money is. He's the controller. So keep this in mind. Now, we're sending out an e-alert today where you can do volunteer for campaign sites where they need you on the street. There's numbers there, phone numbers to contact people. The locations are there, and there's dates of when they really need you out in the streets. Now, this is important. I cannot tell you how important. You have to be here the next 5, 10, 15 years. If you get the wrong person in City Hall, you think it's bad now? Trust me, we've lost like 13,000 members 13,000 members at DC37 in the last 4 or 5 years. This is what they're doing to us. Now, people always complaining, oh, this is not happening, nobody's doing the right thing. Well, you know what? If you want something out of this life that's valuable, something that you can take with your retirement, take away for your retirement, you want to make sure your children and your seniors and you, when you become a senior, have a better quality of life, it better start right now. You better make sure that the right mayor is in City Hall for the next, and I'm going to say the next 8 years. This is your responsibility. You cannot complain if the wrong person gets out there and you didn't do anything to make sure that the right person got into office. Please make sure you vote. Please do whatever you can do to volunteer a couple of hours to help John Liu become the mayor of the city of New York. If you want to have a quality of life, a real quality of life, because right now the people who've been in City Hall are taking it away from you. In solidarity, this is Robert Ajayi. Talk to you soon.